Let me see what we have here. What is a fun and entertaining video that we could watch? Is TikTok destroying sports? That's interesting.
When was the last time you watched a full game of football without checking your phone? Wait, you're on your phone right now, aren't you? Come on, pay attention. Live broadcasting via television has been one of the most important income streams of sports. With millions of people glued to their screens watching football, tennis, or athletics, TV companies raked in billions from advertising and subscription fees. This money trickled...
I'm kind of working on a Marketing Monday about this. I'm going to watch this, but I am working on a Marketing Monday about this.
...down to the clubs and athletes. But there is a major threat to this ecosystem. Every year, fewer young people watch live sports. Phones and social media are stealing their attention away at an alarming rate. If television money dries up, what will happen to the sports we know and love? Welcome to Athletic Interest. In this video, we will explain how the way we watch sports is changing, why the rise of TikTok threatens live sports, and how the answer might lie in the history of Spotify and Netflix.
I'm actually very interested in this. They might talk about this, but I want to say, one thing that'll naturally self-correct is as the cable companies lose their fucking iron grip on the rights to all this stuff, and Amazon and Hulu and more places started buying it, you'll be able to watch this stuff more easily on your phone, ideally like with chat and more social experiences. Right now, there's a problem where like it's locked into these paywalled cable. People are watching less cable because the business model sucks, but they would watch more sports if it was easy and digital and online and available. So.
Old versus young, baby boomers versus millennials, Gen Z versus everyone else. This civil war is essentially based on the older generation thinking their younger counterparts are lazy and entitled, while the younger generations see the baby boomers as selfish and out of touch. And now Gen Z, alongside their millennial allies, are launching an attack on one of the most sacred aspects of boomer culture, live sports. It is a slight exaggeration to classify live sport as something exclusively enjoyed by the older generations. But the statistics do paint an interesting picture. Around half of young US sports fans prefer highlights over live games. Most fans over 50 like the traditional live experience better. Even the world's most popular sport, football, is noticing this generational divide. Most young fans prefer to watch clips of goals on social media over longer broadcasts.
Damn.
For them, live TV is a thing of the past. In the words of Juventus chairman Andrea Agnelli, "I have the privilege of having 5 kids, but I don't think one of them has ever sat next to me for 90 minutes when I was watching the game." In reality, no sport is safe. Almost half of people aged 13 to 23 have no interest in any sport whatsoever. Even if you manage to find a young sports fan, statistically, they will have a greater interest in esports than the traditional game.
Ooh, that makes me so happy. Just as someone who believed this, when I was fucking that young. And at that time, nobody else did. And now it's fucking commonplace. But I just am really, 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 I've always been, I think I'm less now actually than I ever was. But I used to be a real fiery, passionate esports guy. Like esports is going to take over. Esports is big. Believe in esports.
So how worried should we be about the decline in interest of live games? Well, if you like football, you might find this next part a bit disturbing. In the 90s, technology for broadcasting live football started to improve and the industry took off. Almost overnight, billions were pumped into football clubs. These clubs have since invested in players, stadiums, training grounds, scouting and marketing campaigns. They accumulated billions in debt under the assumption that broadcasting revenue would cover the costs. Most top clubs get around 40% of their revenue from television. For many, the share is even more significant, for example Roma or Everton. But all good things must come to an end. Most experts agree that broadcasting revenues peaked in 2018. Even potential growth markets, such as China, are starting to crumble. In 2020, the Premier League terminated a lucrative £500 million contract with a Chinese streaming service when the company failed to make payments. French football
shit.
narrowly escaped collapse in 2020 after the breakdown of their TV rights deal with MediaPro. Despite this scare, the league entered a new deal with Amazon for significantly less money.
Yeah, here
if
it
sports
comes.
like football have any hope of engaging new fans, they need to understand.
The tech companies are now swooping in. They're starting to buy up the rights to these contracts as the cable companies become unable to pay the big things they used to pay. They're starting to, bit by bit, capture some of the sports rights.
Why young people are turning off the TV. To understand the challenges, it is worth looking at what happened to the music and film industry in the recent decades. Only a few years ago, the only way to legally consume music or movies was by going to a store, not online, but in the real world, to buy strange spherical discs called CDs or DVDs. The big production studios were sending their lawyers to people downloading just one single song or movie from the internet. They were desperately trying to protect their old-fashioned business model. Enter Spotify and Netflix, who decided that people might enjoy music or movies online whenever they feel like it. Industry experts dismissed the services as a fad, but there was no turning back. The music and film industries were disrupted. Fast forward to 2021. Streaming services dominate music consumption, and Netflix has outgrown
I fucking love these I'm sorry to interrupt here. I love these graphics. I really want to get graphics like these for Marketing Monday. At least the YouTube videos. I think it makes it a lot more compelling to watch. Like, I think I can talk about stuff like this, but it looks cool. I like these graphics a lot. I think they're just super sick.
traditional Hollywood.
I want to find, like, if somebody's really good at something like this, I would love to pay you money to make graphics for Marketing Mondays.
To become one of the largest media companies on the planet. Spotify and Netflix were able to disrupt their industries because they understood a simple fact. Give the people what they want, whenever they want it, for a reasonable price, and they will pay for it rather than steal it. Live sports could be facing a similar disruption. Generation Z demand shorter, snackable content and are far less willing to sit through 90 minutes of football just to see a few key moments of action.
Is this you guys? This is you? This is Gen Z? This is you guys watching my stream right now? You're like, you guys eating popcorn?
Before the baby boomers get all high and mighty and blame the kids for their short attention spans, the situation is a little bit more complex. Older generations are comfortable consuming sports in the same way as always, through an expensive pay TV package. Younger fans, who are more technologically savvy, realize they can save a lot of money by cutting the cord and using highlights on social media to view key moments. Gen Z have grown up with social media, which provides users with a personalized feed and control over what they consume. Live sports force you to listen to the opinions of a bunch of angry former athletes dispersed between hours of mind-numbing advertising that you can't skip after 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Gen Z will tell you time is very
The experience is
valuable. They
worse.
don't see the value in sitting and watching something for 3 hours, whether that's a baseball game, the Super Bowl, or the Oscars. Flexibility is important.
Who's been here for 3 hours? Some of you gotta be here for 3 hours, bro.
And young fans are used to flicking through content on their own terms. The NBA is already working hard to engage the Gen Z fan. Understanding the need for flexibility and desire to view the main action, the NBA offers
The head of marketing at the NBA used to be the head of marketing at Twitch. Her name's Kate Javeri. She's fucking amazing. She's one of the best leaders I ever worked for. She's killing it there. They're definitely the most forward thinking. NBA is much smarter about this than like every other sport. And that's why I think young people are more likely to like the NBA than almost anything else.
one subscription for game highlights and another for the last 15 minutes of specific games. Sky, one of the largest football broadcasters, has begun to offer fans the ability to purchase access for one single game instead of being stuck in a long-term
Talking about
contract.
only America though, really.
While these
It's still
methods may
soccer, obviously.
provide a short-term fix, is there a way to increase interest in live sports among younger fans? Before 2017, the fan base of Formula One was shrinking, as the cost of cable television rose dramatically. When Liberty Media took over, they started to broadcast Formula One through free-to-air television and began an aggressive campaign to increase appeal among kids. The journey of a young fan looked something like this. Hook them in with a cool promotional video on TikTok or Instagram. Feed their desire to know more with YouTube content and a Netflix documentary series. Get them to watch the race weekends on TV. This strategy appears to be working. In 2020, F1 increased its audience of European kids by
Bro, I think there's tons of people in here that have done this exact route. People are always in my chat saying you should get into F1. F1 is sick. Stans did this, dude. Literally, this is the Stans alt-right pipeline. This guy fucking did the same thing. He got some random clips. Actually, Rochelle saw TikTok clips, made him watch the Netflix documentary, and now they're fucking all in on F1. They watch every week. They know the fucking... It's crazy. I mean, it's actually been very successful.
Almost 3 million. This is a 17% year-on-year increase, which puts football's 6% yearly increase into perspective. It is clear that traditional broadcasting is becoming less popular and less lucrative. If sports like football want to prevent a significant drop in their revenues, they might want to follow F1's example. Before fans get too concerned, a major shift in the market does not mean that live sports will cease to exist. After all, the highlights and memes have to come from somewhere. More importantly, the unpredictable magic of two teams going up against each other on a Saturday evening is something that humans, at least the ones behind athletic interest, will always be drawn to. The live sports experience can never be replicated through social media. But the way we consume sports is destined for a major shakeup. Spotify disrupted the music industry. Netflix disrupted the film industry. We might see the next big disruption happening in sports broadcasting. No matter if you want to stream Netflix or sports, you'll probably use the internet, which means A, people will try to get your data, and B, you
I like that video a lot. I'm actually going to watch this again. I want to learn from this to help build Marketing Mondays, because I thought this is like exactly what I want my YouTube videos to be like. About this length, a lot of graphics, interesting charts. This is really, I like this a lot. How well did this do? Wow, not that. It's like the same. Never mind, I'll just be lazy. I get like 150K for... Bro, what the fuck? Why would I do all that effort for another fucking 50K viewers? I'll just react to MatPat. God damn it. Yeah, I need more person. I mean, I like having my jokes. I would have some of me in it, but I want a lot of these graphics because I think sometimes my Marketing Mondays, there's a little bit too much of single slide, no motion, and me talking. I want like a little bit of more than that, but we'll work on it. I thought that was still very good.